Namaste. So tonight I'm going to read book 9, chapter 23, on the killing of Shankachuda in the Maha Devi Bhagavatam. Om Vakratu Namakaya Kudi Surasa. Hariom Tatsat. Narayana said, Shiva, versed in the knowledge of the higher reality, hearing all this, went himself with his whole host to the battle. Seeing him, Shankachuda alighted from his chariot and fell prostrate before him. With great force he got up, and quickly putting on his armor, he took up his huge and heavy bowcase. Then a great fight ensued between Shiva and Shankachuda for full 100 years. But there was no defeat, no victory on either side. The result was stalemate. Both of them, Bhagavan and the Danava, quitted their weapons. Shankachuda remained on his chariot, and Mahadeva ruled on his bull. Hundreds and hundreds of Danavas were slain, but extraordinarily endowed with divine power. Shambhu restored to life all those of his party that were slain. In the meanwhile, an aged Brahmana, very distressed in his appearance, came to the battlefield and asked Shankachuda, the king of the Danavas, O king, grant me what I beg of you. You give away in charity all sorts of wealth and riches. Give me also what I desire. Give me a Brahmin, something also. I am a quiet, peaceful, aged Brahmin, very, very thirsty. Make your promise first, and then I will speak to you what I desire. Note, the Brahmins only are fit for receiving frauds and cheatings. The king Shankachuda, with a gracious countenance and pleasing eyes, saw before him that he would give him what he would desire. Then the Brahmin spoke to the king with great affection and maya. I am desirous of your kavacha, amulet. The king then gave him the kavacha, the amulet, mantra, written on a bhujra bark and located in a golden cup. Bhagavan Hari, in the form of that Brahmin, took the kavacha and, assuming the form of Shankachuda, came to Tulasi. Coming there, he made his Maya magic manifest and had sexual intercourse with her. At this time, Mahadeva took up the Hari's trident, aiming at the king of the Danavas. The trident looked like the midday sun of summer, flaming like a pralaya fire. It looked irresistible and invincible, as if quite powerful to kill the enemies. In brilliance, it equaled the Sudarshana Chakra disc, and it was the chief of all the weapons. No other body than Shiva and Keshava could wield such a weapon, and everybody feared that but Shiva and Keshava. In length, it was 1,000 dhanus, and in width, it was 100 hands. It seemed lively, of the nature of Brahma, eternal and not capable to be noticed. Whence and how it proceeded, the weapon could destroy by its own free lila will all the worlds. When Shiva held it aloft and aiming at Shankachuda, he hurled it on him. The king of the demons quitted his bows and arrows, and with mind collected in a yoga posture, began to meditate on the lotus feet of Shri Krishna with great devotion. At that moment, the trident, whirling round, fell on Shankachuda and easily burnt him and his chariot to ashes. He, then assuming the form of a two-armed gopa, full of youth divine, ornamented with jewels, holding flute, mounted on a divine chariot, surrounded by kotis and kotis of gopas, who came there from the region of Goloka, whose bodies were built up of excellent jewels. And Shankachuda then went up to the heavens. Goloka, where Shri Brindavana is located in the middle, he went to Brindavan. full of rasa sentiments and bowed down at the lotus feet of Radha Krishna with devotion. Both of them were filled with love when they saw Sudama, and with a gracious countenance and joyful eyes they took him on their laps. On the other hand, the Shula weapon came with force and gladness back again to Krishna. The bones of Shankachuda, O Narada, were transformed into conch shells. These conch shells are always considered very sacred and auspicious in the worship of the Devas. The water in the conch shell is also very holy and pleasing to the Devas. What more than this, that the water in the conch shell is as holy as the water of any tirtha. This water can be offered to all the gods, but not to Shiva. Wherever the conch shell is blown, there Lakshmi abides with great pleasure. If bathing be done with conch shell water, it is equivalent to taking bath in all the tirthas. Bhagavan Hari resides direct in the conch shell. Where Shankar is placed, there Hari resides. Lakshmi also resides there, and all inauspicious things fly away from there. Where the females and Sudras blow the Shankars, Lakshmi then gets vexed, and out of terror, she goes away to another place. O Narada, Mahadeva, after killing the Danava, went to his own abode, when he gladly went away on his vehicle, on the bull's back, with the whole host, and the other Devas went to their respective places with great gladness. Celestial drums were sounded in the heavens. The Gandharvas and the Kinnaras began to sing songs, and showers of flowers were strewn on Shiva's head. All the Munis and Devas and their chiefs began to chant hymns to him. Here ends the 23rd chapter on the 9th book on the killing of Shankachuda in Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Vedvyasa. Jayanti Mangala Kali Bhadrakali Kivanadakashma. Om Tvaya Mata Chipita Tvaya Bandhu Chasaka.